So when it does reopen, they're going to have a chance to get back and quickly make up for this lost time.
So there's another quick question which comes in. How about starting with small putt-putt courses around the country for families to enjoy golf, which will help people understand golf terminology and maybe increase interest of viewership in golf in India?
Well, whoever's asking that, please come to Skyline. I will not only make sure you'll enjoy it, but you'll actually go back with all the terminology in the world. Because as a matter of fact, I remember every time I open a clinic, I tell people, first thing you'll promise me, you will never call it a golf stick again. You will call it a golf club. And when somebody you walk up to who's a golfer, don't start by asking, did you have a hole-in-one today? Because most likely the only hole-in-one he's had has been in his trousers or in his socks. So I think the terminology starts from there, to be honest.
So there you go. Vineet Sharma was asking some questions to you, saying, Brandon, some witty ones and one-liners, please. So
Vineet is on this, is it? He thinks I'm supposed to be the Jay Leno of the show. But no, in all seriousness, it's nice to be able to educate people, about what's a birdie and a bogey and, whatever else it is. But the idea is, the funny part is what is I think the most, well, I won't say irritating, but what gets to me is wherever I go, it's amazing that forever people would only want to talk to me about golf. And I used to keep thinking, do I look like the village idiot who has no other clue of what's happening in the world? So to steer that away, I used to always tell them, I said, listen, I have a fairly active sexual life. I have this, I have that. And people say, oh, God, this guy is dangerous. So, but I'm just saying, I think sometimes you've got to ease it, and not just feel it's only golf. I see Jaideep asking, which is tougher, playing or coaching? Playing for sure, Jaideep, playing for sure. Because, my God, every week after week, you've got to make it happen for that Thursday and Friday. And if you're sitting on the bubble, there's more pressure than anything else in the world. But coaching is satisfying, but definitely easier because there's somebody else who's implementing it. And I'll tell you that one story. I won't mention the names, but there was this brother who used to carry for his sister. And every time she shot a good round, they would say, we had a great day. We shot 69. You know who it is.
I know this.
And the day she played badly, my God, that silly goat, she shot 78. I said, oh, really? What happened to the we? So, yeah, but coaching is definitely easier, Jaideep.
Okay. So Atit Gaur is thanking us and also telling us that we need to do a lot to make golf big in India. And but who do you guys feel will be the next big player from India after Shubhankar?
Well, I have my own personal favorites, so I'm going to be a little biased, but I saw Viraj grow up in Kolkata, and I think he's huge. Unfortunately, on the girls' side, I'm going to be biased again, and I definitely think Fessa is going to be the girl that I'm going to back because she just literally, like I repeat, both of them have amazing work ethics. But amongst who's already on tour, I think the Cullens, the Chickas, they're all super. And I've been watching Chickas, a lot of what he keeps posting, and I'm really happy to see how he's focusing on his fitness because the stronger he gets, it's going to be amazing. And, now at the moment, we've got new winners like Udayan Mane has come back out of the cold and been on an amazing run. Young Adil winning in Kolkata was huge, 6-hole thing. It's just that I don't want them to feel one win. That's what I loved about what Udayan's been on. He's been on like a roll for many rounds of golf. And I think that's going to be what it is. It's just that from India, it needs to go overseas. It needs to happen on the Asian tour. And they need to graduate into Europe. So honestly, that's like I said, my own personal favorites, I may leave out a few names. I don't want to go down that road too hard. But I think there's enormous talent. And like I'll tell you very honestly, the juniors, I think this junior golf keeps getting talked about. I just hope it can get better streamlined. What you've done with the US kids is massive, Romit. But I keep finding there are too many little things popping up. And I wish somebody would bring it all under a proper umbrella where parents don't feel the stress of feeling that they've got to constantly pay 3,000 rupee entry fee, plus stay, plus this, plus that, because that's a killer. And at the end of it all, it's the boys and girls, who are in the age group of 11 to 14 who are going to then finally take over. And that's the key to building it right now. And I just hope, more of this will start happening. And, we definitely at Boulder Hills are keen to push it. I know that there was talk about somebody saying, listen, let's do a seniors mid-amateur event, and we don't mind doing that. So we're looking at doing 3 events in the south and adding it to maybe what Rishi started with the A.V. Thomas side of it. Because if today people are well settled and at age 50 are prepared to go out and do it, we'd be happy to do it.
Super
And
stuff.
yeah, and like I tell you today, you asked me this about coaching, and I actually let it pass. But because I think I'm spending so much time in Hyderabad, I've gone back into it because I've loved it. And there are a couple of kids there. This is a girl, and well, they're actually two sisters, Amrita and Sheilu Mandava, who I picked up. And when I see what they have as talent, one's 11 and one's 14 years old. It's tremendous. And again, they've been fortunate that their parents, the father plays, and the mother's just a great support system. And I think that they do it right because, again, I've seen their work ethic, be it in the gym early morning, being the way they eat, to what they're trying to do. I've, of course, been pushing meditation and a bit of yoga into it, but I love what's happening. So I got back into coaching per force because I think if I can give back to the game that's given me so much, why not?
And it's super. I think thank God that you came back into coaching because I think we need coaches like you. Because, we had a little session with Rishi also before this, Narayan. And he said, the biggest growth factor in this country is coaching. It's right at the doorstep of golf because that's where everybody comes first. And if in that place you are nurtured the right way, you will definitely improve the base of golfers in India.
Well, again, Romit, coaching for me, I just wanted to stress, I think a lot of people come taking a golf lesson and expecting instant gratification. My favorite story was when I was coaching a lot on 10, 11 hours. We used to be a average day in Kurmitola and places like that. I'll never forget one person came to me and being polite and having wished him, knowing how important he was. I said, so what would you like to work on? He said, listen, I don't have any problem. It's just that my driving, my mid-irons, my short irons, my chipping and putting are not so good. So I said, sir, have you left out anything? So that is... You also sometimes need to be a little careful with when I'm talking about coaching, where the coach doesn't believe that his method is the only method. He's got to work around what the person has, what age he is, what shape he is, and also be able to mold it. That's when I talked about the instant gratification because the guy would like to get better.
Right.
So keeping that in mind, it's critical, right? So I'm just saying that everybody wants to play this game better. So when somebody comes for a lesson, the coach shouldn't forget that. Forcing just your own knowledge down that his or her or child is not important. It's making sure they go back with a better understanding, a better feel, and feeling good about it. And as long as we're doing that, why not? So it's good stuff.
So there's a parent who's been with his son for 4 years. He's asking, or he's saying that, the story of evolution narrated by Brandon is an eye-opener. This is something missing seriously from public domain, and efforts need to be made to put out such information out there more. So I think it's true, Brandon, getting you out here and narrating all these things for people to hear. People haven't understood how it's all happened. Today they walk into a golf club, expecting that this has happened. Oh, this is my birthright. No, it's not that. You know much more that we didn't have proper facilities in the beginning anyways, to start with.
Well, Digraj, I heard him yesterday, so I didn't want to look like I'm repeating it. But, Digraj and I shared a great bond for many years. And apart from the fact that he's emotionally draining because he's so deep, if I may call it that, we had some fun times putting the tour together. I had fun times getting Hero into golf. And I wish I had actually invited Jay Narayan to hear this chat because Jay Narayan tells the story even today that the quickest decision Pawan Munjalji made in terms of sponsorship of anything was the hole-in-one sponsorship of the classic Indian Open at Delhi Golf Club. It was 5 minutes at the Belvedere Club in the Oberoi, where I went to see him and suggested that please, sponsor this and come into golf. And he said, I don't know why I should do it. And I said, just do it for the love of it. Well, that love has spread into oodles and oodles of support, not just here, but overseas. And like I told about IDC, I said this about the Army, I said this about alcohol companies. A debt of gratitude to the Hero Group, and Hero Motoco now, as they call themselves. And in the good old days, Romit, you may not have been playing pro or serious golf at that time, but Mr. Bharatram, who was a legend at Delhi Golf Club, that whole group, the Shriram group, Siddharth Shriram included. But I know Ashish did it for a long time afterwards. But that DCM group, these were the events that we played. The Modis used to have a tournament. DCM used to have many tournaments. The Adi Cup used to happen. I mean, I can think of so many people who were there. Yeah, these were the events, and then we used to go up to a place like Mumbai, be there for 5 weeks. Steel Age would sponsor an event. Thomas Cook would sponsor an event. These are brands that are no more, maybe doing it, but there's no reason why there's nobody who can substitute these with somebody else. Or maybe they themselves just need to be asked again, but they were there. So, just from that perspective, it's there. And I think it's got a long way to go. It's going to happen. I know the economy has been hurting. I understand that you don't have the PRPs and the footfalls that other sports get. But it doesn't mean, like I said, we don't want to constantly keep talking about the problems. Let's talk about the positives and make it happen.
Yeah.
Solutions, absolutely.
Super, yeah. So I'm dying to hear this answer to this one. So if someone's got an answer, someone's got a question for you. This is Doc.
Sure.
Doc Sujit is asking you, Brandon, if given a chance, one thing that you would like to change in golf. Did I ask you that question?
No, you didn't. What I would like to change in golf? It's not going to be technical. It's not that I want to see people hit less distances and do other things. I just wish that the camaraderie and the game cleans up because there are just too many bandits running around ruining the sport.
Right.
Handicaps and trying to win, regardless, needs to be a change. Corporate golf will hurt as long as we have this problem, and that is why so many silly formats are constantly having to be thought of and being brought into the game. Why can't you treat it as a gentleman's game? Go out there and play to the best of your ability, because when you're cheating, you're only cheating yourself, my friend. So, Doc Sujit's a great friend of mine. He has to be, and let me tell you, I'm going to give him a plug. He's the best dentist who doesn't want to practice being a dentist. But when he used to look at my teeth, I never felt it. It was painless. But apart from the fact that he's a mad golfer. But yeah, Doc, the problem we have with corporate golf has been that there are just too many people, who say, and what I find strange is when a 21 handicap plays 4 over and said he had a lucky day, it's very hard, to put this in perspective. You know what I'm saying? Because we've all been there. And I can understand being 3-4 under your handicap. But 17 under, please bring your parents to church on a Sunday, we'll marry them. Because that's what they produced. So anyway, for the Catholics, they'll understand that.
Another little question coming on, a support question, which someone needs your help with.
Sure.
In Aurangabad, Maharashtra, we have a 9-hole course, which is about 5 years old. Please suggest ideas to increase our footfalls.
Well, I don't know the condition it's in. I don't know the length it is. So can somebody throw in a little bit more of info? Because like I said, there used to be a story that wherever the English went when they were ruling us and put their hats down, they built a golf course. And that's what a lot of the tea garden courses were like. Over a period of time, lots of them developed, lots of them died. But like the tea companies did, they developed it wherever they could. So if Aurangabad has a decent size, is it 3,000 yards? Is it 3,500 yards? Is it 18 tees? Is it got greens? If I could get some of those answers, I'm sure we can find a solution to add footfalls. There's no question.
Tell Ranjit to send in those details in a bit.
Absolutely, absolutely.
We'll move on to the nenext question. We've got a lot of questions coming in suddenly, Brandon. So,
okay. I must have been talking so much rubbish. People said it's a question he pooch lo, it's better.
So Ritu's asking you, when will you start coaching me, Brandon? That's one.
Well, she's my role model. She lives in the same condo I'm at. It's just that she happens to be Twesa's mom, so she's got a long and a very some big shoes to fill, Ritu. But anytime, let Skyline reopen.
So we'll come back to Twesa's question, but before that, we have another one from Ravi Day, who's stuck in Turkey, by the way.
I know, my friend is marooned there for a while.
Yeah, the best coach Biren ever had was you. Unfortunately, his attention got diverted. How do you sustain and motivate kids?
Well, I think temptation has been around from our time as well. I'm not going to pretend when I was growing up, and I saw a good friend of mine, Bobby's on it, but Bobby and Anand Chatra, these used to be our regular foursome in the Kolkata days, and we had a great time. But the temptation to go out to parties, films, we didn't have Xboxes and too much of television. We used to have only a couple of programs, so TV was not a big deal. But yeah, we had the same kind of temptation that today kids have. It's a question of managing it. Biren, I can tell you guys, I said this at the start of the show and I'll say it now. Outstanding talent, no doubt. But the thing is, discipline, commitment, hard work, whatever you think you're doing, there's somebody doing more. Whenever somebody tells me, I practiced X, I said, listen, don't kid yourself. There's somebody practicing more than you. If you think you've hold 50 putts, somebody's hold 100 putts on the same play. Right. So stop feeling sorry for yourself. Stop getting too quickly satisfied, and keep lifting the bar, not thinking you've just, jumped over it and you're already there. So that's the complacency that sometimes sets in. But like I said, truthfully, Romit, just work harder and harder, and that's only going to make you a bigger and better player. Biren was, like I said, a fabulous talent, and I wish him well with his corporate career. I know he's going to get married soon as well. But Ravi, thanks for that. But you know how much, where we got when he was into it. But like I said, it could be, he could have gone a lot more.
Right. Next question coming up from Twessa. But before that, I'm just going to tell you guys, we've got about 2-3 minutes on this session. It gets cut off, and then I need to go on live. So guys need to reconnect just in case we get cut off in the middle. Okay, we just reconnect, and everybody who has a question after that, I know there's some questions from Bobby Malik. So we want that answered as well, because that's more pertinent with the age group that you guys are in right now.
Well, we've been buddies forever, so we're talking the same age, I'll tell you. He was the best he was the club throwing champion of the Royal. He threw clubs more than I've ever seen any human being, until he got a new set, and then he used to throw them gently. And I know he'll be laughing when he hears it, because that was the truth.
What I'll do is I'll just end the session, because we've got a minute left on this session. I'll end it and restart it. But guys, just repost your questions for the guys that I haven't answered yet, or Brandon hasn't come to. Okay, so I'm going to end it and redo it. So Brandon